Another episode of Lunatics from X. This is kind of crazy how this guy, Pentoshi, got it right in 2022. What he said in 2022 was, what if QE was like a bodybuilder, quantitative easing, doing steroids, meaning having organic growth? Can he now be supported by organic growth? That's like believing once you get off steroid cycle, you will keep all your gains. You won't. With tapering, giving it a few months, you go back to your normal natural physique. You won't. You'll just fall flat. And it's so crazy how now Besant is saying exactly the same thing. Economy was like a bodybuilder taking steroids. Outside you're great, inside you're killing your vital organs. That's what was going on here. At least that's what their thought process is. That's why they're killing the stock market. It would have been easy to keep pumping the economy, borrowing a lot of money, creating a lot more, what is he saying, a lot of government jobs. There's no controversy when we are doing all that, but you were going to end up in a calamity. AKA, you gotta take your medicine. All right, let's see what else is happening. Gurgavin is telling us all new Trump tariffs that go into effect today, and it may have gone up since then. Highest, China, 104%, Lesotho, 50%, Cambodia, 49%, Laos, 48%, Madagascar, 47%. Let's go through them and see the ones that really matter, one that really important to US. Vietnam, 46%, Sri Lanka, 44%, Bangladesh, 37%, Thailand, 36%, Taiwan, 32%. That's surprising. Switzerland, 31%. India, 26%. Japan, 24%. Wow, that's a lot, huh? Let's see what people are saying in this thread, if anything. Wow, that's a long list. And it may have even changed since we last saw this chat GPT. Please generate the dumbest list of countries and random numbers. That's what probably did, huh? We're close to the whole world stop trading with the US. We'll see. Most are 10%. Let's go. All right, let's see what else is happening here. Kathy Wood says, based on zero hedge, I don't think I fully understand the SOFR swap spread. It sounds something important. As zero hedge notes, swap spread is suggesting serious liquidity issues in U.S. banking system. Crisis is calling out for some kind of Mar-a-Lago accord on free trade in tandem with serious support from the Fed. No more time to waste. Effectively, that's what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to bring everyone to the table so that he can do Bretton Woods 2.0, reset the rules of the game in a way that makes sense primarily for US, and he wants to diminish the influence of China. That's what's going on. All right, let's see what else. This one is funny. Deep Dish Enjoyer tweeted this, and this is probably from the last term, Gary Cohen, conversation between Gary Cohen and Trump. I'm just gonna read it like that. Mr. President, can I show this to you? Cohen fanned out the pages of data in front of the president. See, the biggest levers of the job, people living voluntarily, was for manufacturing. I don't get it, Trump said. Cohen tried to explain, I can sit in a nice office with air conditioning and a desk, or stand on my feet 8 hours a day. Which one would you do for the same pay? Cohen added, people don't want to stand in front of 2,000-degree blast furnace. People don't want to go into coal mines and get black lung. For the same dollars or equal dollars, they're going to choose something else. Trump wasn't buying it. Several times, Cohen just asked the president, why do you have these views? I just do, Trump replied. I've had these views for 30 years. That doesn't mean they're right. Cohen said, I've had the view of 15 years. For 15 years, I could play professional football. It doesn't mean I was right. While it is funny to read this, but I think it misses the bigger point. The gut feeling Trump has here I think is that fine. Everybody would like to get the air conditioning job and everything, but that basically means you lose your industrial base. You lose the ability to do the hard job. You lose the ability to do things that are not as flashy, but are necessary for a sovereign country to function. And, globalization is all fine and dandy. But when push comes to shove, as everybody saw during COVID, you can't depend on other countries to get the essential things done, aka China. So yeah, I mean, everybody would like to do an air-conditioned office job, but is that the best thing for a sovereign country? If not, and I think it is not, then it is the president's job to create conditions, economic conditions that allow, encourage, enable people to take on jobs that would be more intensive, let's say. While it's funny to read all this, I somewhat agree with Trump on this one. Let's see, what's the last one here? Raoul Paul says this feels a lot like December 28th. Those that were on, this actually feels more like March 2020, and that's what a lot of other people are saying as well. Powell signaled a pivot. I think we get the same. Plus a trade resolution with China. I don't think we're getting a trade resolution with China at all. This is going to be a long, drawn out battle. Maybe slowing in intensity, but it's going to be long, drawn out battle. Risks in stocks feel like 10% downside max versus 15% upside in 2 weeks. Maybe a little bit longer here, I think, and 25% upside in a month or two, and much more in 6 months. I agree with everything else. No one really knows. No one really knows what's going to happen. All right, last but not least, Black Monday hoax is over. I think David Sachs tweeted too soon, and he got community noted. I think there was a community note here. I may have missed it here, but it was more about when he tweeted it midday, and then before the end of the day, the market was down again. But I think it closed, as he says, closed down 0.84%. So I guess David Sachs was right in the end, because people were saying this is a Black Monday, but it only closed 0.84. So I think he got a community note on this towards the end of the day, but by the time market closed, it was only down by 0.84. So points back to David, I suppose. Hail here says this is my quant. Is there? Yeah, everything is down as such, but all right then. That's pretty much it for now. I'll catch up with you guys later. All right, bye now.